Welcome to the College Investor Audio Show, where we talk about the biggest issues impacting millennial money, from student loan debt to side hustles to building wealth. We will show you how to get out of debt so that you can build real wealth for the future.
So early in the year 2020, the pandemic-riddled year of 2020, Congress passed the CARES Act, of course, and the act provided various forms of economic relief to Americans, including provisions for a $1,200 stimulus check for adults and a $500 stimulus for children 17 and under. While most people got their money, some never got it. Others received less than they were due. If you never got your money, you have a chance to recover your funds via the Rebate Recovery Credit. The Rebate Recovery Credit is a new tax credit for the year 2020. It's a dollar-for-dollar credit for people who didn't receive the right amount of money from their stimulus check. So, for example, a couple who filed without dependents in 2019 likely received a $2,400 check in April. If they gave birth to a baby in 2020, they could claim the additional $500 via the Rebate Recovery Credit. The Rebate Recovery Credit is likely your last chance to claim your missing stimulus money. If you didn't get the check, you need to claim the credit on your tax return. Here's how to do it. First, check the records. Yeah, it's kind of hard to miss a $1,200 check landing in your checking account all of a sudden. Even people with higher incomes tend to take notice when a four-figure check comes their way. But in case you missed it, check on the status of your payment via the IRS website. Click the Get My Payment button on the dedicated IRS page. And then once you're there, the IRS will explain how it sent the money to you and the date the money was sent. It will not display the amount of money sent. For an official record of the amount sent to you, refer to Notice 1444, 1444. So Notice 1444 is a letter from the White House and the IRS that specifies the amount of money sent to you. Ideally, you kept that document with your tax records. If you didn't, you might have to do some investigative work related to the amount of money sent. Look through your bank account records to see an unexpected credit. The date of credit should correspond with the info provided by the IRS. If you did not get a Notice 1444, you probably earned too much money in 18 or 19 to qualify for a check. However, you might still qualify for a Rebate Recovery Credit, the credit based on your income in 2020. Second, start filing your taxes. Once you've figured out whether you received a stimulus check or not, go through the normal process of filing your taxes. If you use tax filing software, like TaxSlayer, for example, it will prompt you to enter the amount of money you receive as a stimulus check. Enter the amount of money you received in the software. If you didn't get a check, enter $0. Based on the value you input and your 2020 income, the software will automatically figure out whether you qualify for a credit. This year, the Rebate Recovery Act is part of the Basic 1040 form. That means that tax software like TaxSlayer has to ask questions about the amount of stimulus money you received, and you should not have to dig for the question at all. Do not enter stimulus money you received as income. It wasn't income in the eyes of the IRS. If you want to do your taxes by hand because you prefer painful tedium, I guess, you'll find the Rebate Recovery Credit on line 30 of Form 1040. You'll need to do the line 30 worksheet to figure out the amount of credit you're due. While the Rebate Recovery Credit is an important credit, it's not the only way to save money on your taxes, so be sure to pay attention to other credits and deductions you can use to lower your tax bill. Last, file your tax return and wait for your check. Once you're done with your tax return, you can file, or e-file preferably, your federal return. Once that is done, you can wait for your refund check. You'll only get one refund check. The stimulus money will not be split out into a separate check, for example. Refund checks are for early filers, typically come by late February if you qualify for direct deposit. So, now the question arises, what happens if my 2020 income was higher than in previous years? So while unemployment was high throughout 2020, some people had banner years for income. If you already got your stimulus check, you don't have to worry about paying it back. The IRS doesn't have clawback provisions for the stimulus money. Oh, thank you. However, if you did not get a check and you don't qualify based on your 2020 income, you're out of luck. Phase-outs for the rebate recovery begin at $75,000 for individuals, $112,500 for heads of household, and $150,000 for a married couple in 2020. Individuals who earn more than $99,000 in adjusted gross income, $198,000 for married couples, will not qualify for the rebate. Remember, when your income is higher, your tax bill is likely to be higher too. Be sure to use a quality tax software to minimize your tax burden. Even if the rebate recovery credit isn't for you, there are sure to be other ways to save. And that is our show for today. Thanks so much for being a part of this. If you want to find out more about the stimulus money, the Rebate Recovery Act, anything at all, even a bunch of reviews on different tax software to find out which one would be best for you, find all of it at thecollegeinvestor.com. That's thecollegeinvestor.com.